Creating an object begins with downloading Makerware. This can be done by going to makerbot.com/makerware and going down to the toolbar and choosing which version fits best for your computer. Once done, click download and say no thanks, just download Makerware. By doing this, you're giving yourself a platform through which you can modify and move your object that you have made in some type of CAD software. Shown is the box that your object can be modified in. On the left, you have many different tools that you can use to modify your object. But first, you have to make your object in some type of CAD software. Here, Inventor is shown. To make it in Inventor, simply create a new file and make a drawing, which can be done by creating a 2D sketch, picking a plane through which you want to draw on, and drawing an object of your choice. Here a rectangle is being shown, but anything from a car to a plane can be made in this software and then 3D printed if it is within the bounds of the machine. To do this, all you have to do is extrude, and you will have a block that can be 3D printed. Once this is complete, you must change the file into a format that is compatible with Makerware. This format is .stl. This can be achieved by going to Export and choosing CAD format. Once here, choose STL from the file type and save your file. This is one way this process can be done, but it can also be done in another way. This way is shown by printing. If you go up to the toolbar, choose the arrow at print, as shown here, and choose Send to 3D Print Service, and once again choose the file type .stl. This will essentially do the same thing that you have just done, just in a different way. Whichever way you want works. Once this is complete, you're now ready to open your file in Makerware. To do this, simply double-click your file wherever you have saved it, and either choose to keep it as the same size or rescale the object. And then move to platform or keep position. Once here, you have full range of motion with the object. You can choose to move it, turn it, or scale it, whichever way you please. To scale it, simply click the scale button. To turn it, simply click the turn button. Once you have found your desired position and angle and movement, you can choose to look at your object from different angles using the look button. This can be very beneficial, especially if you're making a big object or a house where certain things could be hidden in certain views and aspects of the drawing. Once this is done, go up to the top and click Make to change your file once again into a file that is compatible with the 3D printer. Choose your material and press Export. This file is called a .x3g. Once this is done, your file is then prepared to be put into a 3D printer and printed. Slicing and verifying takes a different amount of time depending on how large your object is, but once it is done, it is ready to go and no more use of the computer is needed. To physically print the object, you first must put it on an SD card. This can be done by getting the SD card found in the lab and putting it into a slot in your computer where an SD card can go. Depending on the computer, the location of the slot could vary. Once the SD card is placed in the computer, simply drag your file to the SD card and you're now ready to print it. Just eject the card and place it into the machine to prepare to print the file. The slot for the card in the machine is located on the right side, just above the toggle arrows. Once you've placed the card into the machine, you have to go to Utilities and make sure that the filament is loaded and the build plate is level. To load filament, simply go to the back of the machine and choose the filament that you would like to work with. There are many different filaments, colors, and types found in the cabinet under the 3D printer. Once you choose your type, put it on the spool on the back and feed it through the tube until it catches the motor. These steps are described on the on-screen menu. Once this is complete, click Level Build Plate and go through the on-screen instructions. These instructions will tell you to twist or turn the knobs underneath the build plate to ensure that it is level. It is necessary to have a space of about paper thin between the extruder and the build plate to ensure a clean and safe design. This process takes a good amount of time because it goes through 3 different checks to ensure that the build plate is level, to ensure a safe build. This process is done mostly by the machine. All you have to do is follow the on-screen instructions and slowly turn the knobs on the bottom of the build plate until it is level at a good point. Once this is done, it is ready to print. To start printing, simply press the large M button on the machine and it will start going. You can tell it will start going because a green light will appear and you will see plastic start to be extruded onto the build plate. This process can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 8 hours depending on the size of your object. Once your object is complete, simply pull it off of the build plate, making sure you get every piece. For bigger objects that take up more surface area, this may be difficult, and in that case you can take it off. Once you're done, you can have an object that looks similar to this.